Here is how I'm turning all of this meat into a month's worth of fresh, homemade balanced food for my 3 dogs and how much it costs. I'm making my own 80-10-10 meat blend by grinding up 80% muscle meat, 10% secreting organs, and 10% raw meaty bones. This beef was already pre-ground on Super Sale, so I'm just adding it into my big bucket. Then I'm adding in this other beef that I got 60% off. Y'all already know I'm here to help you save money, and my advice is to shop sales and stock up when you see one. I don't feed beef too often because of how pricey it is, but they are eating fancy this month. I cut it into strips that'll fit into my meat grinder, and I cut out and throw away any large pieces of fat if it has any. Once that is done, I grind it all up and add it to the other pre-ground beef. The next protein I'm adding is pork. The last time I posted that I feed my dogs pork, my comment section blew up with people saying that they were told pork was bad for dogs. So obviously processed pork in the form of ham, bacon, or sausage is bad. But lean, fresh cuts of pork are a wonderful and inexpensive protein option for dogs. There are many raw, gently cooked, and kibble options in the market that use pork, and pork was recommended to us by our canine nutritionist. Every dog is different, but my dogs eat it all the time and are super happy and healthy. Next are my organ muscle meats. I usually feed chicken gizzards, but my store had duck gizzards for once, so I pitched in the extra moolah in the name of variety. I'm also adding in heart. This is free venison heart from hunting season, but chicken, beef, or pork are also in my rotation. Variety in the animal, the protein, the cut of meat, and the organs is really important in these DIY homemade meat grinds that you make. I grind it all up and add it in before the last portion of our muscle meat, which is going to be some sort of omega. Usually in the form of a small oily fish. My local Asian store had these wild-caught Taiwanese mackerel, since they ate sardines last month. The bones in these are so small, they really do turn to mush when you grind them up. Then we're on to secreting organs. 5% will be these pork kidneys. Asian or ethnic grocery stores usually have all of the organs that you could ever need. Then for the other 5%, I'm adding in liver to make up that 10% secreting organ. Liver you can usually find at any grocery store, and I usually grind these up last because they are not pleasant smelling. Seriously, liver smells so bad. Crack a window, open a door, trust me. Once it's all ground up, I go ahead and add that last piece in, and then I'm going to mix everything together, trying to evenly incorporate everything as much as possible. This whole grinding process took me about 45 minutes, which honestly isn't too bad. Next, I'm going to weigh out a week's worth of my beef blend into some sort of freezer-safe bag. Tons of you are asking for a guide for all of this. It is coming. My fiance and I are getting married in a few weeks, so to say we're busy is an understatement. But once we're back, I'm going to really dive into this for y'all. And this is 30 days worth of my homemade meat blend for my 3 dogs. I store 3 in the freezer and then take this week's worth inside to gently cook. I'm adding in some fresh quail eggs, cooking until just pink. Then I'm going to weigh out what they get per day into these meal prep containers. Then I'm going to be adding in a base mix. This week they are getting the Honest Kitchen, which has seeds and veggies. You just have to rehydrate it with water or bone broth and then add in oil. Head to the storefront in my bio to see all of my favorite base mixes if you'd like to try some for yourself. Then for that 10% bone, they are getting chicken wing tips since the wing themselves are too big for them. I now have a week's worth of prepared meals and a month's worth of meat blend. My grand total comes out to $166, which is 92 cents per meal. Follow along, I'm here to show you how to spoil your pup without breaking the bank.